Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on joining me for the third and last part of the discussion regarding orientation lecture on Pakistan. So we had almost discussed all the topics which are included in current affairs, and there was only one which was left behind, and this was the subject of human rights. So we will be talking in detail in the classroom what are human rights, how they are protected, what are various agreements and the treaties signed between the countries or from the platform of United Nations, and why the human rights are not protected, and why still half of the world, almost half of the world, is subjected to the human rights violations. So what are the concerns and how we can achieve the target and so on. Okay, thank you. So this was all regarding the course contents. Now in this part, I will give you 3 to 4 important concepts, and then I will pick up some of the questions from the previous years. The first important landmark that in the history is 1945. Why it is important? Because number one, it led to the end of the Second World War. Number two, United Nations was established. Number three, GATT was established, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. And number four, the World Bank, okay, they were established in 1945. And obviously United Nations was given various tasks to have peace and international security, to protect the human rights violations, to promote the right of self-determination to the nations and so on. The second part, that is known as you can say 90 or 91. What happened? Here we had another important development internationally, that was the collapse of Soviet Union or Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. I will explain, okay? And then we had third important landmark, that was 9/11/2001. Let's clear our concepts. Now this period from 1945 to 1990 is known as the period of Cold War. What happened after 1945? All the European powers, they collapsed, and 2 superpowers, they rose in the world. One was USA, America, and the second, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. And they both were pole apart from each other, and USSR. So 2 superpowers, they emerged. And then what we saw, from 1945 onwards, the tussle, the conflict for global supremacy between both of these superpowers, and we call this period as period of Cold War, Sard Jang. And this Cold War period is also known as bipolar world, because this was one pole of the world, it was second pole of the world. And as far as the remaining countries of the world were concerned, they had to align with one superpower or the other, and some countries, they decided to remain non-aligned. And as far as Pakistan was concerned, Pakistan decided to join America by ignoring Soviet Union, which was in its neighborhood. The Cold War, ended in 1990. And what happened in 1990? I told you that this is, here, one superpower collapses. Soviet Union breaks down into 15 small states. So it was end of Soviet Empire, and now it was Russia. And it also gave rise to the end of the Cold War. And this meant America becomes the only hegemon in the world with its agenda of capitalism. Now this Cold War, or this tussle for supremacy between America and Soviet Union, okay, USSR and America, basically this was also the tussle of their ideology. America had the ideology of capitalism and Soviet Union had the ideology of communism. They both were, you can say, socio-economic orders. So American capitalism, that the states should keep themselves away from the economic activities, for example, the property rights, right, they were allowed, and the private sector was given free hand to dominate on the economy of America, because they believe the private sector is efficient and smart enough to lead the economy in the positive direction. Now the other side, the Soviet agenda was communism. Communism means the altogether opposite, no property rights, okay, and the state being the custodian of all the assets and the economy of the world, of the country, and and what we saw with the collapse of Soviet Union, we also saw the almost end of communism and capitalism, okay, taking roots. The third important landmark, this period is known as post-Cold War. This was period of Cold War, and now this period is known as post-Cold War. Post-Cold War. And then the third important landmark, you can say, important juncture in the international history, that was attack on America by so-called terrorists. And it was first time that the American territory was attacked by any enemy, because the Americans, they always believe that they live in safe havens and they cannot be attacked. So their myth was broken and it was attacked, and then America decided to launch a war of terror against the culprits. So it was the rise of terrorism post 9/11. Now this is the period in which we are living, and it was the rise of terrorism and American war on terror. And currently we are living in the same phase. So these were three important concepts which I wanted to talk about. And now let's pick up various questions which have come in the previous years. I have given you a very straightforward picture of the topics: Pak India, Pak US, Pak Afghanistan, okay. But in the examination there are two kinds of questions. One is very simple question, okay. Simple question: what are the constraints on the peace process between India and Pakistan? So straightforward question. Why Pakistan and India, they have not been able to establish trust on each other? So very straightforward question. Then again, straightforward question: discuss Pakistan-American relations after 9/11/2001, or discuss the course of Pakistan-American relations after 9/11/2001. Very straightforward questions. And on the other side, you can also have overlapping questions where we combined 2 to 3 topics, and we see that how the student, it comprehends that topic. For example, now we have seen Pakistan and China, okay? And now here is the question: Pakistan and China relations, how it would be affected by the growing Indo-China nexus समझने की कोशिश कीजिए। पाकिस्तान चाइना के रिलेशंस के ऊपर इंडिया और चाइना का जो रिलेशंस ग्रो कर रहे हैं, उनकी जो गठजोड़ ग्रो कर रहा है, उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा। ओके, तो ये इसका मतलब है कि आपको तो इंडिया के साथ रिलेशंस उसका भी सामना करना पड़ेगा। लेट्स टेक अनदर एग्जांपल, डिस्कस पाक अफगान रिलेशंस and how India is trying to expand its influence in Afghanistan. Discuss Pak-Afghan relations in the light of growing influence of India in Afghanistan. What are the options available for Pakistan? So again, 3 countries. Okay. Another example, India and America, their nexus कहते हैं गठजोड़। ओके ना, इंडिया और अमेरिका का पहले बात तो कि आपको पता होना चाहिए इन दोनों के इंटरेस्ट क्या हैं खिते में। हाउ अमेरिका इज़ रिलाइंग ऑन इंडिया टू अचीव इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव इन इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन। एंड व्हाट इज़ इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन? ऑब्वियसली दैट इज़ अ क्लासरूम डिस्कशन। एंड America wants to, I repeat, America wants to establish its influence or consolidate its influence through India. It's India, sorry. And they have signed various deals also, because on one side they are concerned about rise of China. Both India and America, they want to contain it. Then secondly, there is a growing friendship between China and Pakistan in the form of CPEC and construction of Gwadar. How America and India, they see it as a threat and they want to sabotage this project. So they have established their own agenda. And for example, they have signed LMOA agreement. They have signed CASA agreement, and they have signed various defense pacts. And how India will play its role in Indo-Pacific region. Similarly, now this could be an added question. Okay, this is the question, the growing relations between India and America and how it is going to impact the region. And region means South Asia, which includes Pakistan mainly, okay, and China also. Now, here is another question. Okay, what would be the impact of growing Indo-China-America relations on Pakistan-China friendship? Now, there could be next overlapping question. For example, CPEC. What is ABOR? What is CPEC? And how it is going to impact global economy. So we all are preparing what is CPEC. Okay, what are the benefits of CPEC for Pakistan? What are the challenges of CPEC to Pakistan? But he's asking that what would be the impact on the global economy? So here again, economy has been brought in CPEC global perspective. And then I will pick up various questions again, simple one and the complex one. Here is simple question. Discuss the vision of China behind One Belt, One Road, that is ABOR. Okay, very simple question. And here is a simple question, how corruption can be eliminated from Pakistan. So again, this is issues related to Pakistan affairs or Pakistan issues, right? Now here is interesting question, how US is trying to keep its dominant position in Asia Pacific, and what is the Chinese response? Okay, so you need to know it is regarding Indian and Pacific Ocean competition, okay? And here, again, the competition between America and China. So examiner is asking the policies or the strategies of both these countries here. Next, for example, critically examine Donald Trump's policy for South Asia and implications for Pakistan and region. Now again, here you have overlapping conflicts. You have America, you have Afghanistan, you have Pakistan or the region, and plus India. So 4 countries, right, they are in the circle. How? That the South Asian policy given by Donald Trump in 2017, South Asian policy. Here, Afghanistan, okay, America decided it's going to withdraw. Number 2, Pakistan. Pakistan was considered as an adversary, यानी कि दुश्मन. And India was picked up as a new ally, नया दोस्त. अब इस पॉलिसी के साथ ओके इसके क्या असरात होंगे ख़ित्ते में, पाकिस्तान को क्या तशवीश है, पाकिस्तान कैसे बिहेव करेगा, और फिर तालिबान जो हैं वो कैसे ऑपरेट करेंगे वगैरह वगैरह, इंडिया किस तरह से ये रोल प्ले करेगा और कर रहा है अमेरिका के लिए. तो ये देखिए ये 3-4 एरिया जो हैं वो आपको इसमें कवर करने पड़ गए. लेटेस्ट क्वेश्चन, ओके, पाक इंडिया रिलेशन. Given the volatile lockdown in Indian occupied Kashmir, what are the viable policy options available for Pakistan? What can Pakistan realistically do to ease the suffering of the Kashmiri people? Okay, so that is the latest development. Okay, then there was again question. Listen, discuss the strategic contours of Indo-US evolving partnership. Again, he's asking Indo-US, okay, we have already discussed that they signed COMCASA, they signed LIMOA, they signed defense pacts. Okay, so what are the strategic contours of Indo-US evolving partner and how it will impact Pakistan-US and Pakistan-China relation? Okay, look at the complexity of the question. Okay, Indo-US friendship, okay, this is growing, and how it will impact on Pakistan-China relations and Pakistan-US relations. So therefore, बच्चों देखें, आप जब क्वेश्चन अटैम्प्ट करोगे, जब क्लासरूम से अटेंड करोगे, तो उसमें देखिए दिस इज क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन and what are the various parameters of the question, what are the contours of the question, and how you are going to respond to the question. So here, right, he has included, right, again 3-4 countries over here. Now next is strategic competition in the Indo-Pacific region. Again, Indo-Pacific competition in Indian and Pacific Ocean is increasingly becoming intense. Define the interest and role of United States, China, India, Japan and Australia in the geopolitics of Indo-Pacific region. So you need to understand Indo-Pacific क्या है, उसके बाद Indo-Pacific में अमेरिका क्या रोल प्ले कर रहा है, Indo-Pacific में इंडिया और अमेरिका मिलके क्या रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, Indo-Pacific में ये बाकी मुल्कों का जो नाम है चाइना क्या रोल प्ले कर रहा है, और जापान और ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्या रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं. Got me? Next is explain the salient contours of US rebalancing policy and China's assertive policy in South China Sea and the latest dispute with the real countries. देखिए एक पार्ट हमने वो किया था ना इंडियन ओशन और दूसरा किया था पैसिफिक ओशन. ओके, ये एशियन पैसिफिक ओशन. एशियन पैसिफिक ओशन में देखिए चाइना है, ओके, ये साउथ ईस्ट एशियन स्टेट्स हैं, आसियान कंट्रीज़. अब वहाँ पे और ये जो ये यहाँ पे चाइना के साउथ में और इनके सराउंडिंग साउथ एशियन कंट्रीज़ के ये साउथ चाइना सी है. ये हम इसकी बात कर रहे हैं, ओके, सेकंड पार्ट की। अब साउथ चाइना सी में अब वो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, पहले भी उसने पूछा था चाइना और अमेरिका की पॉलिसी, अब वो पूछ रहा है कि अमेरिका की रीबैलेंसिंग एंड चाइना असर्टिव पॉलिसी। इस खत्े में साउथ चाइना सी में चाइना इज असर्टिव, चाइना इज मिलिटरिस्टिक, having militaristic approach in this region, and America, okay, it's you can say defensive, and therefore American rebalancing policy. America gave a rebalance policy with the name Pivot Asia, given by Barack Obama. So what is that? How with this strategy America would rebalance its relations with Australia, Vietnam, this Philippines, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, and so on, and even Goa. आइए जी, अभी हमने बात की इंडियन ओशन में कंपटीशन की, और मैंने आपको कहा कि इंडियन ओशन में इंडिया, यूएस और चाइना, दे आर द राइवल्स, और वहाँ मैंने आपको बताया था कि इंडिया इज़ द फर्स्ट कंट्री टू न्यूट्रलाइज दिस रीजन। और उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है, मैंने आपको बताया था कि इंडियन ने एक अग्नि 5 का मिसाइल फायर किया था, और दूसरा मैंने आपका नाम लिया था कि इंडियन सबमरीन का अरिहंत का, ओके, कि इंडिया ने जो न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन समंदर में उतारी। ये वही सवाल आ गया, एनालाइज द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कमीशनिंग ऑफ इंडियाज बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल एंड इंडियन Arihant submarine, right? And would it stabilize or destabilize the region? And then there is a full-fledged question on India and US. They signed LMOA. What is LMOA? And how they will check the growing influence of China. Now, ending note. So there is a way how to understand the question, how to start the introduction, and then how to write down the relevant points, focused points on the questions, and then how to reach the conclusion. In order to make an impact, obviously you have to use history, you have to use examples, you have to give evidences, you have to give statistics, you have to give your personal observations, you have to quote some books, you can quote some various websites, you can quote various videos, important videos. So it all depends that how you enhance, right, your presentation for the examiner. And there is a way, right? There is way for everything. How to proceed systematically in an organized way. So that would be talked obviously when you join KIPS. Thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed my talk. So best of luck. Thank you very much.